Now we are going to look at all important exam technique.
जी
The
सर।
ending of the exam technique is very important because according to the marks allocated to each question, the exam technique is designed. For example, there are 2 markers, there are 3 markers, there is an 8 marker, there is a 12 marker as well. So you can expect that in a 2 marker, in a 1 marker, the examiner is only looking at the knowledge, which is a definition of any specific topic. And in a 3 marker or in a 5 marker, the examiner expects you to apply the concepts. Okay, in the case study, like they have given you a business and you have explained the concept. Now you need to relate it to the relevant business, whichever business they have suggested. So the first thing, knowledge is simply definition. Okay, like explaining any concept. Application is to relate with a specific business which is given to you in the exam. And thirdly, the analysis. The analysis is not a complicated thing. A lot of people would tell you analysis is this or that, but keeping analysis simple is simply the positives and the negatives, or the pros and the cons related to any topic. Those pros and cons need to be related to whatever situation the examiner has given you. So this is actually the 8 marker structure where you need to explain a concept, you need to relate to the business, and then you discuss the advantages and the disadvantages in connection with the business. Okay, so as we progress, we're going to look at a lot of business concepts, and we will learn how to apply those concepts in a given situation. Okay, so this is 8 marker. If you're only looking at the knowledge aspect, we're looking at a 2 marker, or we're looking at a 1 marker, because you see in P2 you will be dealing with 1 marker as well. And in the 3 marker, you will have the knowledge, plus you will have the application. That is for the application. So you have questions that have 1 mark, that have 2 mark, that have 3 mark, and that also have 5 marks as well. Okay. So till that point, we have the application. But when it comes to analysis, we are looking at an 8 marker. So in an 8 marker, you expect to have the knowledge, you expect to have the application of the knowledge, and you are expected to discuss the pros and cons. Okay. So I have mentioned the requirements of the examiner, and I've also related them to the type of questions and the marks allocated to them. Okay.
जी सर।
Fine. The last and the most significant requirement, which is understood grossly, is the evaluation. So evaluation is simply being critical of the pros and cons discussed here. Okay. So, for example, you have given an advantage of something. So the evaluation would be showing that that really is not an advantage, that's a disadvantage. Or if you have mentioned a disadvantage, the evaluation would be how that disadvantage could also be seen as an advantage. Okay. So
यस सर।
we're going to engage in the past perspectives. We're going to look at those things. Okay, the evaluation is the most challenging part, and the students who do the evaluation in a good way end up scoring A grade in this exam. And the evaluation is 4 marks. So if we conclude that till this point, we were looking at an 8 marker, and if we add the 4 marks into it, we are actually looking at the structure and the style for a 12 marker. This is only a general guidance of how to look at a question. However, the important thing is to look at the requirement. At times, the examiner clearly says identify and explain 2 advantages, or write 2 advantages of a certain thing, or 2 disadvantages, or side effects. So we straight away go and answer the question in that way. Then at times the examiner can say justify your answer. So we have to go through, like we have to explain the concept, relate the concept, tell the pros and cons, and in the 12 marker we are expected to critically assess whatever we have shown as a benefit or as a disadvantage, as a pros or as a con. Okay. So
यस सर।
the basic idea, this will be understood when we enter the time when we're going to attempt the past papers. Okay.
Yes, sir.